All right, so variable importance. And so sometimes when you're fitting these models, it can be of interest to understand kind of what variables contributed the most to the overall prediction. So for bagged or random forest regression trees, we can record the total residual sum of squares that's decreased due to splits of a given predictor X averaged across all B trees. And so basically a large value is going to indicate that the variable is important because it has kind of a big contribution on average. And for bagged or random forest classification trees, we can add up the total amount that the Gini index is decreased by splits from a given predictor X, and we can average that over the B trees. And so here's how you would do this in R. Here I'm gonna do this using we're using a random forest. And you'll notice when I set my engine, I need to add one extra line here, importance equals impurity. And so what that's gonna do is it's gonna save the importance here using this impurity metric. And so then when I fit my model, so I fit my model as normal using that specification, I can then use the importance function which comes from the Ranger package. And I can run that function on the fit part of the model. So I take my model that I fit here. This would change depending on what you've named the output from this model. So here I've named it model, and I pull out the fit object. So that's what this $sign here does. And that tells us the relative importance of each of these variables. And so here I'm doing this again. Here I'm pulling out the importance of the model fit just so you can see it. And these two are going to give me the same answer. What I've done here is I've loaded the library and then I've run the model. And here, instead of loading the whole library, I'm just saying I'd like to take the importance function from the Ranger package. And so that's what this double colon does. But these two pieces are going to give me the exact same result. And so I can stick this into a data frame. And so I've got a data frame where I'm going to name a variable called variable, which will be the names of this var imp output, which is just a vector. And then I can set the importance to the values from that var imp vector. And so I'm just putting that data into a data frame, and that's because ggplot likes to plot things from a data frame. And then I can take that data frame and I can run a ggplot function on it, where on the x-axis I have the variable, and on the y-axis I have importance. And I'm using the geom_call to make columns here. So this plot leaves a little bit to be desired. How could we make this plot better? I think there's several ways. First of all, it's very hard to read these because they're all kind of smushed together. And so I can actually flip the coordinates so that my variables are on the y-axis. So this chord flip does that, which makes it easier to read. And then I can do one extra thing. I can actually order them. And so that's going to be the big piece to make this very kind of nice and easy to interpret. And so what I've done here is I've taken my data frame with the variable importance, and now I'm going to actually set these as, I'm going to turn this into a factor where they're ordered by, so the variable called variable, which is what just the names of these variables. It's going to be a factor with levels such that the levels are equal to the variable ordered by the variable importance. So what I've done with this is I've just ordered this factor such that it's in order according to variable importance, so that when I plot it by default, it plots it like this, so it's in a nice order.